All right, I'm joined with Mandy Ray. She's with me right now. Hello, Mandy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing real good. First and foremost, it was nice meeting you in
Yes,
person over a week ago, and thank you for being on the show this evening.
absolutely. Well, thanks so much for coming out and meeting me and, of course, inviting me to come talk to you tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I truly. Well, let me just say this. I've been going to some local, getting a chance to. Ever since I moved to Lexington, I checked out some local artists, such as yourself, and I enjoyed the performance. I enjoyed the vibe with you and the band. The drummer, I'm gonna just say your drummer is hysterical. Uh,
Yeah, Morgan is special in so many ways, but no, he's great. We've been playing together, gosh, for over 2 years now, through many different lineups. He's kind of like my brother, and yeah, I don't think it would be a show without him there, you know?
that's an encouraging thing because being a music artist, you need those type of people. You need people that when times are hard, you need that person that just needs to make you laugh.
hmm
Just makes you relax a bit. If it's sense of humor, if that's how he does his thing, more power to him.
Absolutely.
So so what got you started into being a musical artist?
Actually, it's kind of a different story, I guess. I really have only been singing out for a little over 2 years. I sang a little bit in college, but not really, didn't really do much with it. My grandmother was a big influence on me. She offered to pay for some voice lessons when I was younger and always really, really encouraged me to do it. But truthfully, I had such bad stage fright, I never really would do it very much. And when my grandmother passed away, I sang at her funeral, and that had been the first time I had sang in public for about 10 years. And I realized, you know, I really don't want it to take that to be out singing. So after that, I guess that just gave me the courage to start trying and putting myself out there and singing, and it's just grown from that.
I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your grandma, and just I guess that would be a blessing in disguise for you. It kind of that I guess that's what it took to make you say, I can see myself doing this.
Yes, absolutely. It really was, and I think that sometimes, difficult things are what actually give you the inspiration and actually give you the courage to try something new. And I think that's what it definitely did for me. And I know, even though she's not here, I know that this is something that would make her very proud and bring her a lot of joy. So that's something that is definitely an inspiration for me as well.
You have had a chance to perform indoors and you perform outdoors, or mostly in outdoors when it pertains to the spring and the summer. What kind of performance you like doing the most? Do you like performing indoors or outdoors?
You know, I hate to sound like a politician, but I like them both. I really like both. I think for me, it doesn't really matter the venue or if I'm inside, outside, what we're really doing. For me, it's all about the crowd and the experience and whether or not we're being able to connect with the people that are there and giving them a good time. As long as they're having a good time, I'm having a great time. I've often said I think the band has the most fun of anybody there, and obviously the more that your crowd is enjoying it, the more enjoyable it is for you as an artist. You really feed off of that energy of the people there. So really it doesn't matter. I'll play any place. I've said that 100 times. There's no place I wouldn't play. For me, it's all about just having a great experience and just having fun with the people who are there.
So, prior to your performances, you perform like cover songs, you perform some of your original songs as well. Like, what's that process like trying to figure out what songs you want to perform, what order they should go in? Like, what's that process like?
Well, I think we're a little unique because we don't really have a set list. What I have learned from doing as many performances as I have is to try to be a good crowd reader. So through the 2+ years that I've been doing this, I've really worked to try to build as big and deep of a set list as I possibly can. And so once we get to the venue, you start out with some certain songs. I mean, there's always those certain songs that are kind of what I would call safe that typically go over with any audience, any crowd. But you just look around and see what people are responding to, and then from there we just wing it the rest of the night, just call what we feel like the crowd is liking and getting into and having fun with, and we go from there. And then typically anytime I go to a show and I get requests, I actually keep it on my iPad. I write down all the songs people ask that they would love to hear me do, and then I work on those too, just to try to constantly expand my base of what we can do. So one show with me, you may hear some of the same songs, but you may hear 10 or 15 new songs that you didn't hear from me the last time that you saw me. It just really depends on what the crowd seems to like.
Oh, so that was when you was performing. That the iPad, I know. I noticed there was something like a silver thing in front of your mic stand, and you just pressure buttons or something like that. So okay.
Yeah, I keep that to add songs and to call songs. And then the other thing about that is, technology is a little bit of a blessing and a curse, but one of the nice things about that is I can pull up songs if people request a song and they really want to hear it. It may not be a song that I've completely memorized, but if I'm familiar enough with it, I can pull up lyrics and we'll do it for the crowd. Like I said, my huge priority beyond anything is just making sure the crowd has a good time. I feel really grateful to all the venues that book me and continue to book me. There's a lot of bands. At any given night, they could have selected somebody else instead of me. So anytime I'm there at a venue, I really want to give them the very best performance I can, make sure their customers are happy and want to come back there. So anything that I can do to add to that experience for them is what I'm going to do on there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you made me a very happy customer last week. I'll tell you that
Good.
So why don't you go ahead, promote your upcoming shows. You're going to be all over Kentucky. You're going to be in Lexington. You're going to be at Harrisburg. You're going to be at Richmond, just to name a few cities. But why don't you go ahead and promote the upcoming venues you're going to be a part of?
There's so many. Well, I'll be at the Tap House in Nicholasville in about 2 weeks. And then we'll be heading down to Lawrenceburg at a new place for us called Ugly Mugs, and we're really excited about that. Of course, anybody who would like to see a show, you can always find me at Mandy Ray, which is R-A-Y Music, on Facebook. I always post my shows and pictures and things like that. But there is one event that I'm going to be participating in that I'm really, really excited about, and that is the Lexi Fest event that we're going to be doing at Proud Mary's in Lexington. It's actually right before the old bridge. It's on Old Richmond Road, and that will be on September 13th. It's a Sunday from 3 to 7. It will be a ticketed event, so people can purchase tickets in advance or they can purchase them at the door. But all of this is going to benefit a charity. And the wonderful thing about this event is it's bringing in just a ton of great artists that have won some of the Lexi Awards. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not. But a lot of the award winners will be there, as well as nominees and other people who are big in the Lexington community. So in addition to seeing me, we will have two stages with various acts, and it's just going to be a ton of talent from around this area. So really excited about this event and hope that a lot of people come out to that.
All for a great cause for sure. That is a Sunday, September 13th. If I have no plans on that particular day, I'll be there.
Great. Well, we definitely hope you'll be there. And like I said, it all goes to charity, and just excited. There's an abundance of talent in this town, and so this is a great way to come out and see just a huge sampling of the talent there.
Getting a chance to hear you perform cover songs is great. You add your own vibes to it. You put your own spin to it. and it's incredible to hear. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing some new original material from you. And you mentioned to me that you are working on an EP, I believe, of original material. Is you got in the
That is
works?
correct. Yes, we are currently in the process of writing. So that's what I've been spending a lot of my extra time in. Anytime I have free time is working with other writers to write, shopping other songs. Once we've finished that, we're going to start recording an EP, which I'm really excited about. Actually, at the September 13th event, I will be doing some originals. So I'm excited. We've been a little slow crossing over into the original direction. I think we've been, just comfortable doing our covers, but it's definitely time. And we've had a lot of call lately from people who want to hear us do our original stuff. And I really feel like I have such talented members of my band. They're also great writers, just great musicians. And so it just feels like the time is right to do that. And that's the direction that we're heading.
And considering that you like to perform and all, maybe you've been asked this a lot. Considering you're an artist, you want to make a name for yourself. Has it ever crossed your mind that you would consider audition for shows like American Idol or The Voice? Is that something that interests you?
I've actually auditioned for one before. It's just such a different experience. I have some really good friends who have gone through on The Voice and actually gone very far on it. I think it's a fantastic show. I think it's a great way to feature artists. I'm not sure that it's really what I want to do. But like I said, I think it's great. I think anytime we can promote live, real music with real performers, I'm a big fan of hearing the real stuff and not the auto-tune and the backing tracks. And they have their place. But I like to hear, I'm a little old-fashioned that way, I guess. I still kind of like the old bands where it's more of a band, not so much a solo artist. And when they're out there just performing and you hear all the dirt, all the rawness, all the mistakes, all of that just adds to the experience for me. So I think anytime we can promote that, whether it be through The Voice, attending, a local musician just at a bar, I think anytime we can promote that, that's a good thing, and I'm always in support of that.
It will be very entertaining to see Mandy Ray on The Voice and have Adam Levine and Blake Shelton try to woo you into their teens. That will just be so entertaining. Or Pharrell or whoever else that's on there. Just
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I like them all, but Blake and Adam have a certain appeal, so it's pretty tempting either way.
Yeah. I like how Blake be pointing at himself when he hopes someone picks him. He'd be pointing at himself. So you can check out Mandy Ray on Mandy Ray Music on Facebook. And Reverb Nation as well. She's on Reverb Nation. You can check out her upcoming performances. She'll be at Lexi Fest event September 13th. Make sure you all check that out. Mandy, great chatting with you. And if I don't see you in August, I'll see you in September at the Lexi Fest.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was Mandy Ray joining me.